The Las Vegas Raiders just leaked some massive news surrounding their quarterback position need, and honestly, you guys are going to want to hear this. However, before we dive into this news surrounding Pete Carroll, Chip Kelly's offense, and what quarterback may be a perfect fit, quote unquote, for them going into next season, do me a big time favor and comment down below who do you think is the best option for Pete Carroll's offense with Chip Kelly next season and for the future going forward. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, but honestly, let me stop playing around. Let's get into this news you guys need to hear about. Alright, so this article just dropped 4 minutes ago as I'm recording this video, and the headline is Raiders Rumors. Jalen Milroe seen as a quote-unquote perfect fit for Chip Kelly's offense ahead of the NFL draft. And real quickly, let's just read what they have to say. So Alabama's quarterback Jalen Milroe is viewed as a perfect fit in Raiders offensive coordinator Chip Kelly's system, which honestly, if I'm being completely real, I do kind of agree. Now, according to a Raiders reporter, you guys probably know him, Vincent, I'm not going to even try to say his last name, he noted that the Raiders are intrigued, right, by Milroe, as plenty of people in the NFL believe his flaws are fixable. Now, according to multiple NFL draft analysts, he's got some really interesting flaws that, again, a lot of people think are fixable. One being his inconsistent accuracy. Obviously, Milroe does struggle at times with ball placement, but he also has a lot of potential with a really big arm as well. Now, analysts note that he often sails throws or lacks the touch needed for timing routes, resulting in a high rate of uncatchable passes. And during the NFL Draft Combine, we did see a little bit of that start to come through on some of the deep balls. He doesn't have the best processing speed in the world going through, your first 2 reads, but needing to go through your third, go through your 4th read. We need a quarterback that can go through multiple different progressions. But then, at the end of the day, the one thing that needs to be said, Raiders have one thing a lot of teams don't have. A guy like Tom Brady that can help out immediately. Alright, and to be quite honest with you guys, I want to show you the good, the bad, the ugly. I want to show you everything, right? So this play right here shows a little bit of good, and then it shows some bad, right? So the first thing that we're going to notice is what one of the best edge guys in this year's NFL draft is going to explode off the edge by just using his speed and the upper body strength to drive back this right tackle, right? So, I mean, he drives this guy back. The first thing that I want to compliment Jalen Milroe on here is the pocket presence, right? I don't know why I put an R. A pocket presence, right? The ability to understand where the pressure's coming from and avoid it. That is great. I love that. The escapability inside the pocket is one thing people have been, criticizing him on, and I thought he did it very well right here. Escape the pocket. Now, as we're looking down the field, right, that's not open, but this is starting to break open here. The one thing with Jalen Milroe is sometimes the accuracy while moving is not the best in the world, and right here we can obviously tell this ball is behind the receiver, very, very low with the receiver, and it's going to be incomplete. But again, are these things fixable? Yes, they're very, very fixable. Now, I'll tell you one thing, and one thing only. Even if Jalen Milroe goes to the Raiders, let's say it's the 2nd round, right? It doesn't mean he's their starter. This is a guy that they can develop within Chip Kelly's system. Alright, let's get back to this real quick. So, it says, while he might not be ready to start right away, which we just talked about, there's confidence that he can make an impact over time. I mean, that is literally what we just said. It might take a year or so, a league executive told the Raiders reporter, but the potential is there, and I completely agree. The Raiders hired Kelly on February 2nd as part of a new head coach in Pete Carroll's staff. Pete Carroll. Kelly previously served as the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles and the San Francisco 49ers, where, let's just be quite honest, it was not great at all. But he did really well at UCLA. He did really good when he went to Ohio State as well, right? Spent 2024 as the OC and quarterbacks coach for Ohio State, who actually won the national championship. Now, as for Milroe, he wasn't able to take a step forward as a passer with Nick Saban retiring. They got Kalen DeBoer. His completion percentage was 64.3, 16 touchdown passes. Both represented decreases from 65% and 23 scores a year prior. But again, a completely different offense. Still, Milroe continued to make plays with his legs, rushed for 726 rushing yards in 13 appearances with 20 touchdowns on the ground. Wow, I mean, that is special. Now, Milroe was ranked the 5th quarterback and number 77th overall prospect in the 2025 class, according to Bleacher Report's big board. The Raiders own the 6th pick in the NFL draft. I don't think that they would take him with this pick specifically. Came away particularly impressed with Milroe, as well as Texas quarterback Quinn Ewers, who I was impressed with Quinn Ewers, Jackson Dart, and again, I think the footwork and the, Milroe's ability to use his legs, I think really makes me excited about what he could be. But obviously that number 6 would be way too rich of a slot to add him, so I think it would have to be in the 2nd round. But again, when you talk about the fit with Chip Kelly's offense, run first, I think it could be perfect. And then going from that really bad throw, we can see a really good throw. And again, right, the main issue is the inconsistencies, but he has flashed the ability to make these throws, right? And here's another play that I felt like I wanted to show you. So first thing we notice here is we have one high safety to the right side of your screen, and he's going to actually drop down to the middle of the field, leaving this one-on-one to the top side of your screen. Whenever you have one-on-one coverage, quarterbacks in the NFL love to make this a yes-no read, and if you like that matchup with your wide receiver, most of the time they're going to circle yes, and they're going to throw that football no matter what, right? Now, I want to see Jalen Milroe be able to make these decisions a lot quicker. I want him to be able to manipulate a defense by looking over the middle of the field, bringing this guy down, and then chucking this ball up, because again, 50-50 balls in the NFL are huge, and if you look at Chip Kelly's offense and Pete Carroll's offense, what they like to do, they like to have a big body receiver that can go up and get the ball. He throws this up, and look at the ball placement of this thing, man. Again, I love his placement of the football in this throw. I mean, it is perfect, right? Incomplete, but again, when you look at where this ball is, that's an easy touchdown. That's got to be caught. At the end of the day, that is a catchable football, and Jalen Milroe made a really good throw, steps up in the pocket, right? Doesn't really manipulate the defense here. He kind of just goes with his first read and chucks it up, but it's a really good throw, and I'll give him credit with that one. But overall, the Raiders are in a very interesting position right now. Obviously, they just said that, hey, Jalen Milroe is a very interesting prospect. Will they take him in the 1st round? I doubt it. Will they take him in the 2nd round? If he's there, I would not be too surprised. But at the end of the day, I don't think he'll be their starting quarterback next season if they even were to take him. I think Sam Darnold, I think Justin Fields, I think Russell Wilson, I think any of those 3 quarterbacks will be the Raiders starting quarterback next season. If I had to bet, if I had to gamble, I think it would be Sam Darnold on a slightly bigger contract, with Jalen Milroe kind of playing in that J.J. McCarthy role. I know he was injured, but being a backup, learning from Sam Darnold, and then taking the keys in 2 to 3 seasons, I think is something that, I'm not too opposed to. As a Raiders fan, I saw what Lamar Jackson did. I know Lamar Jackson was a better passer coming out of college, but Jalen Milroe has the same type of running ability, and if you add a guy like this to a guy like Chip Kelly's offense, who could be the successor to Pete Carroll in 4 or 5 years from now, Jalen Milroe could be the next Lamar Jackson in the NFL. Guys, let me know what you think. Hit the like button, subscribe, join the family. I think getting Milroe as a backup next season could be very, very smart.